Hello and welcome back. Good evening. Welcome back to II Racing League. Oh, someone's around at the final corner. Nice way to start the evening. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Brand new week of streams. We are now into May. Where on earth has the time gone this year? Already into the 5th month of 12, 2022. Time is flying, ladies and gentlemen, and not sure if I like it. But anyways, we can take a bit of a step back from whatever we've got going on in life at the moment and enjoy as you can see, we're at the beautiful Silverstone circuit in England for round 7 of 13. Although it does say 15 drivers are here. None are going to go out in Q1, so this session not too much of a crunch one in terms of tension and things to play for. Everyone is going to get through. That is, unless they bin their car and get terminal damage. Evening, Majestic. Hope you're well, mate. Majestic suffering with some wheel issues at the moment, so we'll just be watching NA from the sidelines. Hey Garis, how you doing, man? I hope you're well. As we say, 15 of us tonight, 15 strong. Q1, you will see a lot of drivers start to retire from now on. As soon as they set a lap, a lot of them do come into the pits and just retire. Some may take this as an opportunity to kind of do a bit more practice if they haven't had time during the week. So, yeah. We don't know people's true pace. Obviously, you can see Kement's Prev, Tidy's Bear, all with pretty slow lap times in the mid-30s, whereas Ghost setting the benchmark on a 27.6. We'll go on board with Eton, who will take us on a track tour of this fabulous circuit, which has been changed and fiddled with many, many times. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I put too much pressure on them. Who can we go on board with? Comments? Oh, he's going into the pits. Ross, he's on that lap. We'll go on board with Ross. Let me know what the stream's like, guys, because on my screen right now I'm having some issues, but it could just be on my screen. I think the stream's fine, but yeah, let me know in chat. Anyways, a very fast flowing circuit is Silverstone. Not too many heavy braking zones, but when they are, you need to be careful that you get awesome, just checking. So then Hamilton Straight, that's Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion. Through the first couple of corners, you can take them flat in dry conditions in the wet. Might be a bit of a different story. It looks pretty grey out there, not quite sure what the weather's doing. Through turn 3 and turn 4, pick your turn in really well here. Will be important to get a good exit as well. Flat out down the Wellington Straight, DRS assistance. Through Brooklands, as the rally guys say, long and tightens. Through Luffield, the very long right-hander. You'll need to lower your roll cage for that corner specifically. Down by the old pit entrance. Now just an old set of buildings flat out through Copse into the very famous Maggots and Beckett's complex. Ross taking it pretty well there. Maybe a bit wide on the final one. Through Chapel, which leads you onto the Hangar Straight. Again, DRS assistance, 3 zones. Or is it 2? 2 zones, my bad. Through Stowe, very tricky corner, braking zone. Into Vale. Very technical, twisty, tight section through Sector 3. Ghost has improved his time to a 27.5 overall. Ross goes a few tenths shy of that. Currently sat in 3rd. But of course, Q1 at the moment isn't really about the lap times. You can see only 4 drivers currently out on track. Hey Chives, hey Greg, and Wiggles. Hope you guys are well. Fan favourite in terms of this track. One of my favourites. Quite common to get an invalidation or a series of time penalties and warnings racked up on your race time. Through, especially Maggots and Beckett's, they are the problematic corners. Also Stowe, that corner there is a bit of a pain for it as well. Something to look out for in the race. Plenty of overtaking opportunities. 2 DRS zones. Does look pretty grey out there, so the track isn't going to be in amazing condition at the moment. But everyone is going to make it through to the next part of qualifying. No pressure on anyone right now. That will happen in Q2, where we lose 5 of our 15 drivers, leaving final 10 for Q3, the pole position shootout. As always, if you do watch the stream and think, I fancy a go, let us know. There are spaces, and we'd love to be a league that accommodates your racing skill and helps you to improve if that's what you want. For you to flex your muscles and show us what you got, we are more than happy to have you. Just contact Majestic in the chat, or give us a whisper on Twitch. II Racing League, and fingers crossed we'll see you out there. No assist lot on Tuesday night, of course. All these drivers run absolutely no assists. If you need clarification what's happening in chat at the moment. So no racing line, no traction control, no anti-lock brakes. Absolutely nothing. Hardest form of sim racing there is today. Evening, Dayman. I hope you're well. can attack curbs on this track. Certain ones might throw you off here and there, but generally on the whole, you can take a lot of curb on this track compared to others. Thaddeus Bear improves to a 29.2. Have a look at the standings. We got Ross leading the way, 112 points. 3 race wins this season. Last time out in Austria for the sprint race, he got maximum points. 3 points for winning the sprint race, 25 for winning the feature race. Three wins for Ross this season, 2 third places and a DNF in France, which didn't really alter his progress, as second place Ryan didn't score there either. He's currently in second place on 80 points, 32 points adrift, so whatever happens, Ross will still be leading the championship after tonight. Ryan with 4 second place finishes this season from 6 races. Scored in every single race, even sprint races this season, apart from a couple of weeks ago in France where he failed to score. Very consistent, and those two I'm sure are going to be battling for the title until the end of the season. Prev having a nice little fight with Mr. Wiggles for 3rd and 4th in the championship. They're on 65 and 62 points respectively. Prev getting a 3rd place last time in Austria in the feature race, jumped him up ahead of Wiggles, who unfortunately, I was going to say passed away there, but unfortunately he just crashed. Thankfully didn't pass away. Yeah, I'm alright, mate. I'm just I'm recovering from illness, so if I cough a little bit, or if I seem to be a bit bunged up, that's why. But I'm okay. I'm better than I was on Sunday night. As for constructors, leading the way, we have McLaren, team of Ross and Tucker, who unfortunately can't make it tonight. They are leading the championship by 12 points. The Haas team of Lil Semp and Mr. Wiggles on their tail. Not too far behind. Aston Martin 91 points. They're 22 points off the top. Alfa Romeo in 4th are 26 points off the top. And actually Alpha Tauri as well. 5th place, only 33 points off the top. So really, the constructors is anyone's guess. Did they get the Rona? No. I've had it 3 times already, and yeah. It was just a bit of flu, that's all. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Silverstone. That is a very fitting username. Possibly someone's made the second account just for that reason. But yes, appreciate the follow. Hope you're enjoying the racing. Definitely made me laugh tonight. Currently only one driver in the no assist tier who has finished every single race in the points this season, and that is the man who is currently in 7th place, Flu32, our resident Frenchman, as we call him. He has finished every single race in the points so far. Total of 50 points for him this season. Very impressive achievement. I wonder if he can get the 13 streak that everyone wants for this season. Finish every race in the points. Guess that's the goal for everyone. So you're all caught up with the standings. There you have it. There are the times, although a little irrelevant, as everyone was going to get through anyway, so maybe half the people there weren't pushing. Some of them using mediums, possibly because they want to use a set of softs for the race, but we'll get onto that in a second. Ghost currently setting the pace. Chives and Prev not too far behind Ross. That guy Ryan just half a second away from the top. 3 drivers using and utilising those yellow mark medium tyres, including both Mercedes cars. Feature driver for tonight is going to be Ryan 2971, currently second in the championship. In the AlphaTauri for this season. He is going to be our feature driver, and as Q2 starts, this is where strategy takes centre stage. In case you're unaware, in Q2 we'll be losing 5 drivers. Drivers placed 50th to 11th. The top 10 will then go through to Q3, where they can fight it out for the top 10 spots. Who's going to get pole position? For those who make it through from Q2 to Q3, they'll have to start the race on the exact same set of tyres they used to get there. So if they use the mediums to get there, they start on the race in the mediums. And if they use the softs to get there, they start the race on the softs. And of course that can alter your race strategy, it can alter how you drive in this session, it can affect quite a few things. Sometimes we do see commonly a lot of drivers go out on the medium, see how fast they can go, and then realise maybe they won't get through. So then they ditch them for a set of softs in the hope to get through to Q3. Ghost leading a pack of 4 drivers on outlaps, all weaving on the hangar straight, as you can see. Got one of the Red Bulls, either Deton or Clements, both Haas cars. We've got the Alfa Romeo Flute just coming around Stowe as well, all in that final sector starting laps to start Q2. And hello Kate, I hope you're well. Good morning. How is the weather in California this morning? Goes for the 27.7 in Sector 1. Yet to really see how fast that is compared to other people. Just going to have to wait and see. 12 minutes left. A few people still in the pits. Chives, Prevs. Oh, and Ghost is out. You just saw the back end lose traction through Cops. And that is a big crash. And Ghost will be starting 15th on the grid. No pole position for Ghost, unfortunately for him this evening. Very easily done. Depending on your setup, that can be flat. Cops corner. But to some, you will get a bit of a snap of oversteer, and it's about how you manage that throughout the lap. As Clements, using the soft tyres, goes fastest, quickly replaced by Flew. Indeed, Ghost nearly saved it, but on Cop's corner, it is ruthless. Deton has invalidated. What about Ryan? Let's see what Maggots and Beckett's are saying tonight. I'm always interested to see people's shifting through the gears. Through Maggots and Beckett's, I myself, I'll take the first one flat in 8th. Drop down 1 to 7th and then drop down to 6th for the final right-hander, but Ryan taking both downshifts at once. Very interesting to see and how you compare your driving style to other people's. Ryan, good enough for PT right now. Flew still on the top of the tree. Nice and sunny. Well, enjoy the sun. As for the track at the moment, looking pretty grim, bit gloomy, bit murky. Ripley fastest overall. Nice lap there from the Mercedes car, which we have seen on pole position far too much in the past 10 years. What about Greg reserving tonight, opting for the Alpine car? Has Dayman ahead of him on track. Yeah, I think you're right, Padge. I think it is soft-medium strat here. And Greg coming in. Switch on board to Prev. Coming through Sector 1, the first few corners. This is an action point on track. Ross directly following Prev, but Ross not on a flying lap, so he's not going to get a benefit of a nice tow down the Wellington Straight on this occasion. But it is an action point into Brooklands and Luffield. You will see drivers going side by side, jockeying about position. Prev pushing the track limits to its absolute maximum there. Thought he was going to fly off, but somehow kept the car in the limits of the track. And very nice and tidy there through Maggots and Beckett's. This looks pretty good from Prev. But how fast will it be? Is Ripley's time unbeatable? Through the final few corners. Put that throttle down as quickly as you dare. And it's only a 10th away from the top spot for our Prev. That's a nice lap on the soft tyres. Ross, meanwhile, just starting his lap. 5 drivers, 6 drivers now, with Greg coming back out onto the track. As Chives goes fastest by a 10th and a half. Nice lap there from Chives. Home Grand Prix for a lot of these drivers. DD. That is not a joke. Not a funny joke. Oh, bit of a correction for Ross in the middle of Maggots and Beckett's. Not ideal. Have to wait and see where he manages to get on the timing screens even with that slight correction. Looks like he pushed Stowe to its absolute limit. Left hand side of the car fully off the track. around the final corner. It's a 27.8, which puts him in between Prev and Flu, currently P4. Five minutes left of the session. Remember, 15th to 11th will be leaving us. We know one of those is going to be Ghost. If Greg can get a valid lap time on the board, Ghost will be starting in P15. Flu, any improvement? Yes, and a 10th puts him above Ross, up into 4th and only a whisker away from the top 3. How's Greg doing then? He's still on the medium compound tyres, hasn't decided to switch to the softs. And with only 4.5 minutes, this might just be his only shot at trying to get through here. Thank you for the follow, Logan Spence. Appreciate that, man. Hope you are. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Greg goes 11th and currently is the first of 4 in the drop zone. Bill Semp's time of 1 minute 28.6 is the time to beat. Chives retiring in the pits, thinking that lap is good enough for him. Flu coming back into the pits. Might have enough time here to change tyres, go out again if he wants to. Hey Logan, how you doing, man? You well? Snooker hangover, tell me about it. Big snooker fan, Padge and I. So Dayman, currently in 9th and has a few tenths advantage back to Lil Semp, but a bit of improvement, never hurt anyone. His best time is on the softs, and he's on a new set of softs right now, and he's 1/10 to the good in Sector 1. So far so good for the Assist Tier 1 steward, Dayman. You can catch Assist Tier 1 on Thursday nights on this channel. All races on this channel start at 7:30 PM GMT, that is UK time. And good evening, Magic. Sava, Magic. Dayman, 4/10 up in Sector 2, nice lap as well. So far so good anyway. Due to drop into the 27s as it stands. That will be a mammoth lap there from Dayman. You see there are some very quick people currently in the 27s. So definitely would be a very nice lap indeed. It's a 27.7 and puts himself ahead of Prev and Flu. Two very quick drivers. So Dayman, that is a very, very good lap time from him. And hello Lava, Lava Winch. Saba, Lava. That goes back to off this lap, but he'll go again, and with only 1 minute left, this will be his only attempt at getting through to the next part of qualifying. So all the pressure now is on that guy in the Aston Martin. A little bit wide there at turn 3. Might not have cost him an awful lot. Remember, he doesn't need to go fastest in this session. He just needs to get above 10th place. That is currently Lil Semp on a 28.6. Unfortunately for us, that guy's original lap time was so slow that we don't know where he's going to be at this moment. We're just going to have to wait until he crosses the line. Greg has finished the session. He'll finish in 11th. That is unless Tidiest Bear Deton, that guy, can't beat his time. Wiggles has retired. He doesn't want to go on the soft, so that lap time of 1 minute 28.0 is, I'd say probably safe, but you never know. We just have to wait. All of the top 8 have finished. So Kemmons, Lil Semp, and that guy who was invalidated at Stowe. Well, there we go. We knew he's going out. Lil Semp and Kemmons are through. They don't have to finish these lap times if they want. Lil Semp back out on the mediums actually, so he can slow down and save those set of tyres for the race if he wants to. So, usually, at this point, we're all frantically commentating and saying this person's gone 4th fastest, or this person's gone 2nd fastest, this person has gone quickest. But it's quite the opposite today. We pretty much know who's gone out within 30 seconds of the checkered flag falling, which is quite strange. Kemmons went 3rd on his lap. Lil Semp did come round to finish the lap, but we know he is through. I love the relationship between Flu, Magic and Lava. It's great. Lovely to see. Makes my Tuesday night. They have it. Chives is fastest in Q2. Ripley, Kemmons, Dayman, Prev, Flu and Ross all getting through on the soft compound tyres. That is what they're going to be starting the race on. Wiggles, Ryan and Semp though are going to be starting the race on the mediums. Greg, Tidy's Bear, Deton, that guy, and Ghost with the early crash at Cops will be leaving the session in Q2 and have a free tyre choice when the race starts. Come on, Villarreal, says Chives. Obviously not a Liverpool fan, for those of you who follow football. And as Q3 gets underway, strategy takes a back seat, raw pace takes over. Everyone usually in a big rush to get out of the pits as quickly as they can. We've already got Lil Semp out on track, followed by Prev, Chives, Ross, Flu. Ryan's just joined. Very close there between 3 in the background. Dayman, Kemmons now out on track, making it 8. Mr. Wiggles coming out now, making it 9. Out of the 10 drivers out on track very early on. Ripley the only one just to hold fire a little bit. Semp has some nice track room here. I think Rev has had a moment. He's off at Luffield. Might have damaged the tyres slightly, just might need the rest of the lap just to prepare them for his flying run. You never, Purge, Big Liverpool fan is Padge. I think him and Chives are going to have a fight tonight. So Lil Semp, the first one to kick off Q3. And we'll see who will be laughing last when quali is all said and done in little over 10 minutes time. Thank you for the follow, Aidan Burrows. Appreciate that, man. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Joined us just at the right moment. Q3, everyone will be battling to try and hook up a perfect lap. Very difficult to hook up a perfect lap on any track. This one, especially with Maggots and Beckett's, and that very tight sector 3. It's all about how quickly you can get on the throttle. There's something just running wide at Cops there, but gets away without an invalidation. This lap will still count as it stands. Pretty nice through Maggots and Beckett's. Ross is behind Semp on track. Those two are going to be the first to set times. Ripley's still in the pit, actually coming out of the pits right now, so... Lil Semp then. The benchmark will be set at a 1 minute 28.3. Ross coming across the final corner. Has beaten it by almost a second and puts in the fastest lap time we've seen today. Actually, no, scrap that. Chives has once again proved me wrong. 27.2 for Chives, and that is very nice indeed. Ryan goes third fastest. Flew currently sat in fourth. Prev goes third fastest, displacing Ryan, Flew and Semp. Cameron's now around the final corner. He goes second fastest and within a tenth of pole position. Dayman, that's invalid from him. Mr. Wiggles, good enough for sixth, just behind Ryan. Very close between Chives, Clements, Ross and Prev, and then Ryan, Wiggles and Flew, all super close. Good old Moobot. What would we do without you, eh, Moobot? Ironically, the only person you can call a cow in our chat. I'm just thinking what more catchphrases I can come up with. I've got a few. Last time we were here, I said that someone plunged the toilet, which I know, TD, if you're in the chat, you enjoyed that one a lot. So Dayman, second time lucky for him on this occasion. Ripley, his teammate, is coming round the final sector now to start his first flying lap of the session. Some drivers may be on a second run here that we just don't know about, but we do know that Dayman is obviously on a flying lap, just a little bit wide there through the chicane. And that may have cost him a few tenths. To the line, it's a 27.7, only 2 milliseconds though, behind Ryan, so must have been a good rest of the lap there for Dayman to go sixth fastest. Yes, Logan, I'll leave you in very capable hands of Progestic. He is the main recruiter here at IIRL. He'll tell you everything you need to know. Bit of a slide there from Ripley coming out of Luffield. Very easily done. Ripley may get a slight bit of turbulence through Cops from very last moment. Decides to get out of the way. I don't think he impeded Ripley there, but may have been a slight distraction for Mr. Ripples. Raspberry Ripley. And that is wide at Stowe. He's backed off. That's why the lap isn't invalidated, but he will go again. Remember, he did come out of the pits late, so this is only his second lap on these tyres, so he can go again here. Dr. Edward, mate, nice to see you. Missed you out on track, mate. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Oh, Ripley, those tyres maybe struggling on that second flying run, but again, a big slide. It could be down to setup, the reason why he's sliding a little bit. Is the incredible TD... I don't know. I will need to check if TD is joining us. Drivers starting to filter out. Ross is on another flying lap, just coming through sector 1. Mr. Wiggles and Flew are out on outlaps at the moment. 4 minutes left of the session. It is crunch time. Can Chives take his round 1 knockout and keep it, or will Kemments, Prev, Ross, will those be the one to challenge? Ross has backed off in sector 1. So instead we'll go on board with Flew, who is starting a new lap, currently in 8th place. Even just a 10th improvement will put him up to 5th. So still plenty to play for here for Flew. Very close at the top between the top 4, only a couple of tenths separating them. 1/10 separating the next 4 drivers. Mr. Wiggles on a lap 2. Ryan, Prev, Kemments all back out on track. Still waiting to see if Ripley, Semp, Dayman are going to come out on track. Chives joining the track once again. One of the Mercedes of Dayman now out on track. So then Flew round the final corner and goes 5th fastest. Very nice indeed. Bien for Flew. Ross meanwhile and Wiggles on flying runs. Kemments and Prev just starting their runs. Ross backed off his first attempt, saving the tyres, making sure they're not too worn down for this run. Might have been a wise decision. Have to wait and see. Needs at least 2 and a bit tenths if he wants to get on provisional pole, and he's almost 2 tenths of the good. It's looking good here for Ross, but needs a little bit more on this final sector. 1 minute left of the session. Semp will be staying in 9th unless Ripley can beat him. That's where he's going to start the race. Ross goes fastest by 1/10. What about Wiggles? He invalidated his first attempt in this session. Dayman's starting a new lap. Prev is coming to the line now. No improvement from Prev, so that might have been invalid. Ripley starting a new lap. Coming to the line is one of the Alfa Romeos. Might have been invalid there from Flew or Chives. Here comes Kemments to the line. What can he manage? No improvement. Ryan goes 5th fastest, 27.4, jumps ahead of Flew. Wiggles, can he push the Hasses into the top 7? Checkered flag has fallen. Lil Semp, as we know, finishing in P9. Mr. Wiggles will finish the session 2nd fastest and only 8 milliseconds away from pole. That is a fantastic effort there from Mr. Wiggles. Chives, meanwhile, blows the house down 26.8 and puts his Alfa Romeo on provisional pole. Here comes Dayman. He's invalidated, so he's going to start 8th on the grid as things stand. Ross, as you saw just then, has pitted, so P2 is the best he can hope for. Prev can't beat it though. He is coming into the pits. Ripley is a couple of tenths up in sector 2, but needs a few more seconds in this final sector if he wants to challenge for the top spot. It's 6th fastest for Ripley. Flew is coming into the pits. We've got Kemments, I think. No, he's invalidated, so he'll stay P4. And Ryan, who did just improve a moment ago, has backed off of this run, so he will start in 7th place. Well, that was quite dramatic at the end. To finish first you have to finish, indeed. Useful advice for anyone coming up in the race, but Chives, once again, proving he is very quick in qualifying. Either his 2nd or 3rd pole position of the season. So yeah, it Chives by 0.3 of a second, takes pole position and starts on the front row of the grid for the British Grand Prix, starting in just over 5 minutes' time. Ross is alongside him on the front row of the grid, and nothing to separate him and his best friend, Mr. Wiggles. Gosh, I threw up in my mouth when I said best friend there. He's going to kill me for that, by the way. Anyways, Wiggles is 3rd. Kemments alongside him on row 2 in the Red Bull. Aston Martin have a driver in Q3, and they'll be starting P5 in the form of Prev, the furthest up Dutchman to challenge the Englishman here tonight. Ripley, Mercedes on row 3 alongside Prev in 6th. Ryan in 7th and has Flew for company on row 4. Dayman in 9th, Lil Semp rounding out the session, and the top 10 for Haas. You are not dead, you are a lion, come on. Well, Flew crossing the channel over to England, where I myself am based. We are a truly international racing league here at IIRL. One of the I's in IIRL stands for international. We have loads of different nationalities here. Some in Europe, some in the Americas, some in Asia. Amazing to see such diversity and inclusion, especially in this day and age where people are very much separated for their nationality. But we love to have all different kind of people in our league racing. Few-minute break now for the drivers to choose their setups, their tyre strategies, fuel loads. Do whatever they need to do to prepare for the race. Chives got pole last week in Austria and converted it to his first race win here in IRL. Can he do it again? Last week he held off Ghost for a long portion of the race, and a few other drivers too. Chives definitely perhaps the one to beat at the moment. But Ross is our championship leader, starting second on the grid. What can he do from there? His closest challenger, Ryan, finds himself 7th on the grid. So Ryan will need to put in a mega shift here this evening. In order to gain some points back on our championship leader. This is round 7 of 13. We do a full season when the game first comes out, featuring every available track on the game. And then for the second season afterwards, we do a track vote by the drivers, tracks they want to see in this season. That's why it's only a shorter season of 13 races, but it is the tracks that the drivers want to see most. So you will get some strong performances out there on track. As we said at the start, this is a track where you can go side by side with other cars. Lots of action overtaking moments. We've seen very good races here at Silverstone in real life, and we've seen some great ones on this game as well. I'm sure these drivers are going to put on something special for us tonight. Thank you for the clarification, Padge. 4th pole for Chives here tonight. We'll tell you a bit more about our featured driver. Featured driver, in case you're not aware, is a little thing we do here in IIRL to help you, the viewer, get to know the drivers a bit more rather than just have a gamer tag on a screen. So Ryan is 20 years old, from England, so his home Grand Prix here tonight, using the Thrustmaster TX-TM open wheel. Favourite F1 driver is between Hamilton, Gasly and Russell. Favourite track is either Silverstone or Imola. Season aspirations, he's hoping for anywhere within the top 10, but currently finds himself P2, so I'm sure he'll be pleased with his progress this season so far. Just racing on the NA division, no assists, so Tuesday night is the only time you can see Ryan out on track. And asked on his strengths, Ryan said, good race pace, and I'm good at not crashing. So fingers crossed for Ryan. He can have a good result here tonight. We'll need something special, as we say, to win from 7th, but definitely a podium is on the cards for Ryan. He's on the medium compound tyres after what happened in Q2. Indeed, good luck to all the drivers. And in a few short moments we'll be getting underway for the formation lap. So here we go then. Chives will be leading the pack away on their formation lap. 26 laps of the Silverstone circuit. And here are the tyres. Chives, Ross, Wiggles and Ryan in the top 10 all have to, and Ilsemp actually, have to start on these mediums. Kemets, Prev, Ripley, Flew, Dayman have to be starting on the soft based on what happened in Q2. Those on the soft tyre do generally get away from the line better than those on the mediums, so something to watch out for. Maybe Kemets is one to look out for on the grid. Going down towards turn 1. Might get a bit of a run on Mr. Wiggles or Ross. Flew and Dayman are in a medium tyre sandwich right now. They got Ryan ahead of them. And behind, on free tyre choice, you've got Greg, Thaddeus, Bear and Deton, all on the mediums. That guy in 14th opting for the softs, and Ghost Tamino with that crash early in Q2, raring to show us what he can achieve tonight. Can Ghost get on the podium, or can he make his way up into the points tonight? Have to wait and see. He's opting for the yellow mark medium tyres to start this race. Of course, safety cars could be a factor. Pit stops could be a factor. Easy to go side by side with someone and give them damage. Fingers crossed we don't see anything like that. We generally see the cleanest driving on Tuesday nights with the no assist lot. And as they take their positions on the grid, this race is setting up beautifully. You won't be about to have a nice face. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm not going to read your next comment because you just said I had a nice face. So, yes. No, don't worry about it, TD. We'll get you into a stream another time. As for now, right here, right now, it is the Silverstone British Grand Prix. And the lights are out. The drivers are on their way. And it looks like Chives had a pretty good start. Leads into turn 1. Clements, as we said, nice start for him. He's up into 3rd place, displacing Wiggles. Ripley also having a nice little start. He's up to 5th place. And Ross under big pressure from Clements behind. Clements looking to use those soft tyres to his advantage in the early opening corners. Ripley and Prev going side by side through turn 5. And is Prev going to go for a move down the inside? No, it's better of it. So far so good. Everyone behaving themselves, no foul play. Always nice to see. Ghost up 3 places, up to 12th already from the back of the fields. Gregor's dropped a couple. That guy's also gained 5 places off the start. He's our best starter so far this race. Ryan has lost a place. Those medium tyres not helping him out on the first lap. But hopefully for him, he can claw some positions back in the race. It's looking pretty close. No one's able to kind of pull away at the moment. Chives leading Ross by only 4 tenths. Half a second gap behind most of the drivers in the top 10. Prev looking for a move, just a little bit wide there through the chicane on Ripley. That might leave himself a little bit vulnerable behind to Flew. Chive leads on the opening lap. We are suspecting a simple soft to medium or medium to soft strategy, so don't expect to see any of the hard tyres tonight unless an early safety car comes out or someone gets damaged and has to pit to replace their wing. They might, for instance, go to the hard tyre onto the end of the race. We're not expecting to see that tyre feature tonight. And again, no one's running away with it. Lap 3 will be the lap in which DRS is enabled. So Chives will be hoping that he can get a 1 second gap on Ross as quickly as possible as Tuddy's Bear picks up our first time penalty of the evening through Maggots and Beckett's. Lap 3, DRS now enabled. Clements holding the fastest lap at this moment in time. Those top 4, nothing really to separate them. Ripley trying to stay in contention. Everyone's going to get DRS here. It's going to be a big train between 1st and 12th place. All of them, apart from our race leader Chives, are going to have DRS down this main straight. Chives doing well to make sure that he is not under threat from being overtaken on this occasion. Semp looking feisty at the moment, right on the rear wing of Dayman. Looks pretty confident through Maggots and Beckett's. Enjoying those medium tyres, perhaps. This will turn into a game of who can save their ERS whilst having DRS on the car ahead of them. Thank you for the follow, WOR Gaza, or Daza, sorry. I always called you Paul Gascoigne. Was Semp going for a move. No gap presenting itself on this occasion. Mr. Wiggles, his Haas teammate, still in P4. Lost out to Kemmets on the first lap. Into the opening corner. Since then has very much settled into P4. Looking to get a move done on Kemmets. Few gaps appearing. Flute hasn't got DRS on the top 6. Seem to be breaking away slightly from Flu. Now Flu finds himself under pressure from Ryan and that guy Ghost as well. He's up to 10th place, having a nice start. Little Semp getting a 3-second time penalty on lap 4. That's going to add 3 seconds to the end of your race. So it's very important that you keep your penalties to a minimum. Semp getting past Dayman into Stowe using DRS to his advantage. Tidy's Bear now fighting with Deton through Stowe as well, as these top 6 are very much in the breakaway pack. Clean racing as ever, indeed. But you got no assists on your car. Generally, what goes through your mind is fair racing, because you got no assists to keep you on the straight and narrow. You have to rely on your own driver skill. And generally speaking, those with no assists do tend to be a bit more cleaner and respectful as a result. Rev very close to the back of Ripley. Ross close to the back of Chives. Ryan struggling a little bit to try and get his way past Flu, who you just saw went over the curb there at Maggots. And he joins a list of now 3 drivers on time penalties. Here comes Ryan, very routine with the DRS. Makes his way past Flu and up into 7th place. Now can he challenge Rev? Oh, and Ripley's gone. I wonder what's happened up there. I didn't see it in the foreground. You were too busy looking at Ryan, but Ripley, mistake or a bit of contact, perhaps. And he's round at Vale. Here comes Ghost, perhaps, in the background. Not quite. However, has a nice exit out of turn 4. These two both have DRS, but Ghost has more momentum coming out the corner. Gets the inside line. Blue looking for a move up the inside of Ryan. Ryan defending hard. Ghost is now ahead of that guy. These two have had the best starts on the field. goes started in 15th. He's up 7 places. That guy is up 5 places at the moment. So good starts from the pair of them. And still not too far away from the lead of the race. It's all very close. Still nothing really to separate these drivers. Ross and Kemments have broken away slightly from Prev, who has overtaken Wiggles. And here goes a change for the lead, perhaps. Ross and Shives sparking the start of a fight, perhaps. Tidiest Bear is out, and there is a full course safety car. Looks like Tidiest Bear's just lost it through Chapel at the exit of Maggots and Beckett's, and probably into the barrier. Tyre off the car, driver out the race. And on lap 7 we have a safety car. Under the top 10 were able to pit. They were too far into the track. But for those bottom 3, Damon, Deton, Ripley, they're all onto a new set of tyres. Damon will go to the end on those hards. Ripley will try and go to the end on the mediums. Deton may be forced here into 2 extra stops on those soft compound tyres. But you did see a gap beginning to form in the field. Prev, Wiggles, Flew, all dropping a second gap to the car ahead. This has now brought them back into play. Bit of shuffling going along between Deton and Ripley. These 3 will be trying to close up to the back of the fields in the hope that if the rest of the field pit, they might actually gain a place on them. Currently the gap is about 25 seconds, so it's going to be touch and go here. If those top 10, top 11 say, all pit, we might actually see Damon in the lead of the race. Kemments pits, Chives, Ross, Wiggles, Ryan, everyone on the medium tyres staying out, everyone on those soft tyres are coming in. So Chives still in the lead of this race and still leads Ross. Wiggles now up to 3rd, Ryan in 4th, Ghost in 5th, Greg in 6th. Dayman will overtake all of the pack pitting and will jump up to 7th. This safety car has really helped Dayman in terms of track position here. However, he is the only one of 2 drivers now on the hard compound tyres. Deton and Ripley slot in to 8th and 9th following Dayman's progress under the safety car. Kemments 10th place, Prev 11th, Flew in 12th, Lil Semp on the hard tyres in 13th. That guy where he started in 14th place on the grid, but has a new set of tyres on the car. And the reason why pitting under safety car is so important is because you lose roughly 20 seconds in the race when you pit. So by doing it under safety car, even though you drop to the back of the field like that guy has, you actually save yourself roughly 20 seconds in the race by not pitting again. So for those top 6 here, they're going to have to really manage their strategy well from this point in. They're going to have to maximise their pace and maybe hope that there's another safety car later in the race that will really help them out in terms of strategy. So this will be interesting to see where those top 6 finish. Obviously Greg has the 3-second time penalty at the moment. So for him, his job is a little bit harder than the rest. Interestingly, Flew the time penalty. We never see him get any penalties. So don't get used to seeing Flew with a time penalty anytime soon. Chives his call when to go, and he has gone for it. Safety car into the pits, and on lap 9 we get underway with Chives leading this Grand Prix. Decent restart for Chives. He hasn't got a massive run on Ross, but he's done enough to alleviate the pressure into the first couple of corners. Obviously no DRS until lap 3 after the safety car restart, so it won't be enabled until lap 11. So the drivers, if they want to overtake, they're going to have to use driver skill and a little bit of ERS. Deton very close to the back of Dayman. Deton trying to use those soft tyres to his advantage. Dayman, a little bit of a mistake. Oh, and he's off the track. That's going to set him to the back of the field. Everyone shifting up a place. Ripley has had a bit of a mare on this lap as well. He's dropped to the back. And that guy found himself in 14th half a lap ago. He's now up to 11th. Deton now has a 1.3 second gap to Greg ahead. And I'm sure Deton will be using those soft tyres to his advantage. His top 5 have broken away slightly from Greg, possibly some kind of slide or mistake in this lap for Greg, as Ghost looks to be cranking the pace out of his Ferrari. No DRS this lap, of course. Lap 11 is the lap in which it will be enabled. Once again, Greg now coming under a little bit of pressure, as we see Kemments and Prev going side by side through Brooklands and through Luffield. Flew looking to get the move done as well. And Flew, very opportunistic there, has got past Kemments, who perhaps was a little bit too eager to get ahead of Prev. Kemments losing out 2 places as a result of that move. Prev, bit between his teeth, using the ERS, gets past Deton. No real defence from Deton. Will he look for the move back? He will look for the move back, and if Prev didn't miss his turning for the corner, that would have been a massive collision. Bit of a slide from Deton, struggling perhaps. And here comes Flew, up into 8th. Oh, so close. Deton going for the move, not settling for 9th. Kemments, nice move there, switch back through turn 3. He gets the move done, and Deton doesn't quite know where to park his car at the moment. DRS is now enabled. Good battle here. Greg leading. Pack of 7 cars here. 8 cars, sorry, for a potential 6th position. Chives still leads Ross, Wiggles, Ghost and Ryan, who are forming their own DRS train for the lead of the race. All of those on identical strategies. So that might come down to who pits first. Gets a bit of an undercut. Hopeful move there from Lil Semp through Beckett's, but to no avail. This is very, very good driving. And Prev has got the move done on Greg, who is on the oldest tyres on the grid at this moment in time. Greg struggling perhaps more than Flew. Flew looking for the move now into turn 1. This will be bold. Side by side. Greg gave him the space. Flew got the place. And here comes Clements now. He wants a piece of the action. Around the outside of turn 4. Has he gone too deep? Yes, he has. Greg gets good on the throttle, but Clements has so much more traction through turn 5. And a nice move there from Clements on Greg. Greg slowly sliding down the leaderboard. Possibly not through any fault of his own, but possibly just because of the tyres he's on. Deaton looking to get past. Greg off the track slightly. Side by side through Maggotts and Beckett's. Saw Greg on the throttle, just eased off. Didn't want to go side by side through that. Wise move indeed. And although Greg is slipping down the fields, doesn't mean his race is over. Those top 5 now have a 5-second gap on Prev, who has escaped slightly from the clutches of Flew as Ghost sets a new fastest lap of the race. And Lil Semp is out, and he has crashed and has brought out another safety car. This is now perfect news for Greg and the top 5, who can all pit onto new tyres. However, it's 13 laps too many on those softs. Deaton can also pit. These lot are allowed to pass the safety car. The safety car will be picking up the leaders. Don't want to crash into the safety car, of course. Dayman pitted last lap, so he doesn't need to pit this lap. He'll catch up to the back of the pack. Stay in 13th, but good news is he won't be 37 seconds behind his teammate in a few laps' time. And focus now turns to what this top 5 will do. We assume they're going to be pitting. 12 laps is a long time to stay out on those mediums. They haven't just put them on. They will be quite worn, maybe 30 or 40% at this moment. And I expect every single one of them to be in the pits. And they are. Oh, and Ross. A 5-second time penalty for speeding. That could be very, very costly. Prev will obviously stay out, as will Flew and Clements. Deaton also choosing to stay out here. He'll need to pit again at some point, I imagine. That guy stays out to inherit 5th place. And Ripley will inherit 6th. Here comes Chives out of the pits. No change in position for Chives, Ross, Wiggles, Ghost and Ryan. They stay in the same order they entered the pits, but on a new set of soft tyres now for the rest of the race. They are perhaps in the best spot to possibly get on the podium and win this race. Chives here. The safety car was perfect news for him and his medium tyre colleagues. Greg also boxing onto new soft tyres for the rest of the race. Dayman, 3-second time penalty. Just cutting turn 5, trying to catch up to the back of the pack. A bit clumsy, but I guess we've all done it at some point. Here is the penalty situation. Flute, 3 seconds. Greg and Dayman at the back of the field at the moment, 3 seconds for them. The big one though is Ross. 5-second penalty. You never see Ross get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Very unusual for Ross. And at the end of the race, unless there's another safety car and he pits to serve that 5 seconds, he's going to have to have it added onto the end of his time, the end of his race. He's on pits, and that's why the safety car is still going around. Deton, new set of softs, finds himself at the back, but has a new set of tyres on his car. That is going to be very helpful. Lap 15 of 26. Safety car will be in this lap, and on lap 16 Prev will lead the pack for quite possibly the final stint of this race. Top 5 didn't pit under this safety car, that's why they are the leading 5. However, they're followed by 6 cars all on new soft tyres behind them and looking to gain places as quickly as possible. Chives in the best possible spot right now. However, for Chives, needs to get that move done pretty quickly, otherwise those soft tyres are going to start to deteriorate in about 4 or 5 laps time. Safety car is in this lap. Deton is now behind Dayman. Prev looks to be going as slow as he possibly can. Looks like he's a person driving a car for the first time, just getting used to the steering. Looked like Prev was going to go for it there, but turned out not to be. When is he going to go? He's going to go now. And Prev will restart our race on lap 16. Getting a nice little restart there on Flu, who has Kemenson, that guy, right on his tail. Ghost and Wiggles trading places. Wiggles possibly with a bit of a poor restart there from his perspective. Ghost, Ross looking for a move on Chives. Ghost looking to get in on the axe. Possibly put his nose where it wasn't welcome. Bit of contact. Thankfully no one went off and crashed. Wiggles under pressure now from Ryan, but wants that position back on Ghost. Ghost took that Copse corner super well here. Now finds himself right behind Ross. Wiggles, time penalty through Maggots and Beckett's. It's going to be added on to his final race time, and he may lose some positions if he doesn't finish more than 3 seconds ahead of someone. Ghost looking for a move on Ross. Wasn't quite fully alongside. Under braking is. More contact between these two. That Ferrari McLaren battle heating up. Ghost inside line. Still going side by side. A bit more contact. It looks like Ghost has finally won out in this fight. Ross looking for a bit of a lunge. These two, very competitive, Ghost and Ross. Chives now struggling to use those soft tyres to his advantage here, just dropping away slightly from Ripley. And that's bringing Ghost back into contention here. Ghost, remember, started 15th and last. Ross trying to avoid that Ferrari like the plague. It seems like that orange and red car are combining a lot at the moment. Prev leads Flea by half seconds. Clements, that guy, Ripley, Chives, Ghost, Ross, Wiggles, Ryan, Greg, Dayman, Deton, all within a second of the car ahead. And here comes Chives and Ghost, really finding a rich vein of pace here. Chives swinging it around the outside of Stowe, Ghost fighting back. It's Ferrari versus Alfa Romeo. Ross looked to be avoiding Ghost there. Ghost went down the inside of Chives. It's getting a bit frantic here. This race is really heating up. DRS is now enabled, lap 3 after the restart. Ghost, 3-second time penalty, you can see, just cutting over the turn 1 chicane. And here comes Ross now alongside. Getting a bit more contact with Ghost. If they have any more contact, we'll have to set them up on a dating website. DRS for the pair of them. Chives doesn't have it. Chives moves over to the inside line. And perhaps Ghost here. They're going 3 wide. Ghost is round. Ross is up. Past Chives. And oh well. Hard to tell whose fault that was. Obviously Chives was the more vulnerable without the DRS. Oh, it looks to be a Hamilton and Verstappen, but these two working it out well. We can't take our eyes off this battle. Sorry if you're rewatching the stream and you're one of the top 5 and you're thinking, hey, I'm in a fight here too. But here comes Chives. Wiggles looks to be getting in on the act, but not enough road for him to go down the ins as well. Chives now. And it's all well and good these lot fighting for 6th, but these guys have the tyres to challenge for the win here. Their job is to try and get past Ripley, that guy, Clements, Flew and Prev, which is not an easy task. And now they've only got 7 or 8 laps to do so. Mr. Wiggles, what's happened with him? He's had a moment and he is now back in 12th place. Just missed that. Chives and Ross are distracting us, but Padge, I wonder if you saw that. Did you see what happened to Wiggles? I'm not sure I caught it. Chives now capitalising on Ripley, who is starting to drop off of those top 4. Those top 4 now all within a couple of seconds of each other. Chives, time penalty. And currently the only one of these 3 who doesn't have a time penalty is Ryan. And that could be really crucial come the end of the race. Ripley losing out 2 places here. Ghost has retired and he's crashed at the exit of Copse, just as he did in the start of Q2. Chives and Ross ahead of Ripley now, starting to go backwards. Those tyres just not in a good shape. No safety car because no one's in the part of the track that Ghost has retired in. And well, it did look like Ghost had the pace in this final stint. But that fight with Ross and Ghost got very physical very quickly. Possibly, Padge. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure Wiggles will tell us what happens in Discord after the race. These 4 separated by just under 1 second. Chives fighting hard to reduce that gap. Clements took that corner beautifully there and just soared up to the back of Flew without any real effort. Prev here could find himself losing the lead of this race. Sticks it out side by side through Stowe. Slight bit of wheel contact perhaps, but nothing too major. Prev braking late, as we have seen already. Flew forcing his way up the inside. Prev then thinks, well, I'm entitled to some space here. I'm going to shove my car up the inside. In the end, Flew gets the better of that battle. Flew is now in the lead of the race. Of course, Flew has a 3-second time penalty, which will alter his progress. Clements looking to capitalise now on Prev, who has just lost the lead of the race. That guy's patiently laying in wait here in P4 and is up 10 places in this race. Good job there from that guy. However, with all these... Oh! And I think Flew had a bit of a spin there through Brooklands. Prev had to avoid him but couldn't. Unavoidable contact, and that's probably ruined Prev's progress. Which now means that Chemist is in the lead of the race, and because of this whole fighting up front, Chives has now reduced that gap to that guy, and we could very much see Chives, Ross, or maybe even Ryan standing on the top step of the podium here. Remember, Clements and that guy don't have any time penalties, and that is really crucial at this stage in the race. Chives and Ross and Ripley have to get those moves done as quickly as they can. Oh, and more contact! Chives is round. Chives round at Stowe. They're dropping like flies. Just get the feeling. Oh, and Clements is off now. They're flying off the track like donuts are flying off the shelf in Greg's. And now, all of a sudden, that guy who was patiently lying in 4th place, waiting for a mistake, has had 3 mistakes ahead of him and finds himself in the lead of the race. And even though Ross is going to get past him, that guy has the advantage on time penalties. Thank you for the follow, Marcus Anderson. Appreciate that, man. Hope you're enjoying this. Don't know if you've been watching this race, but as it stands, Ryan is going to win this race. Ross has a 5-second penalty, remember. So he's going to drop behind that guy, Ryan Ripley, and maybe... Actually, no, probably not Chives, because he has a time penalty as well. Ryan, at the moment, needs to get past that guy if he wants to win this race. Chives again, slipping down the leaderboard. Meanwhile, Wiggles and Prev are having a nice little fight for 11th. You can see them going up to cops on the track map as Ross sets a new fastest lap of the race, lap 23 of 26. 4 more laps. Chives into the pits. 5-second penalty for speeding. Looks very much like Chives can't convert his 3rd pole into his 2nd race win. Pressure now is on Ryan. Can he get past that guy and win this race on time penalties? Or will it be that guy from 14th on the grid? Is he going to be on the top step of the podium and produce a fantastic display of patient driving and capitalisation on others' mistakes? Ripley, have to say credit where credit's due. He's done very well on those tyres to stay with Ryan, who is on fresher softs. Ross under pressure. As it stands, Ross is going to lose out to Ripley by a second on time penalties. But he will keep fourth because Greg is a little bit too far back at this moment in time. Dayman, time penalty for him. Kamens at the moment is due to maybe jump up a couple of places because he hasn't got any time penalties. Ross a little bit wide there through Brooklands. Deaton's out and he's crashed at turn 1. There's going to be no safety car, remember. Lap 24 of 26, we're too far into this race to have a late safety car. Ryan, that guy running out of electrical energy. That's what the red light flashing on the back of the car means. It means he's under 20% or 25% of ERS. Ryan here might fancy an opportunity. But whilst that guy has the DRS of Ross ahead of him, he can't do an awful lot. He just has to hope that that guy makes a mistake and that Ryan has a good couple of corners. Like that. Good exit from turn 1 for Ryan, but just not close enough to make a move. Bit of a mistake from that guy going a bit too deep into turn 3. This could leave for an opportunity here. Oh, and a slide from Ryan. Had to catch it, and he did. And it was crucial that he did, because at the moment he'll still end up on the podium. Ross is riding this pressure very well, but with that 5-second time penalty, the best he can hope for is third, but he may still end up fourth if Ripley's close enough. The real battle now is between that guy and Ryan, with 2 laps left. One of these two are going to win the race, but which one is it going to be? Ryan inching closer to the back of the Aston Martin car, but just to no avail, not quite close enough. And as we come round to start the final lap, it's now or never for Ryan. Will we see a late move? Will we see a lunge like we have never seen before? Or will that guy prevail in what has truly been a remarkable race? Here comes Ryan. Here's the move. Bit too deep. That guy went deep as well and avoided contact. Ryan again controlling the slide. This is hurting Ripley, who has to stay within 2 seconds of Ross if he wants a podium. We still don't know who's going to win. Final lap of the race. Red light slashing for both that guy and Ryan. Have they used up all their energy possible? Ross leads this race but has a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ripley needs to stay within 2 seconds of our race leader, which he currently is, in what would be a remarkable podium for Ripley. Ryan and that guy are the only two who can win this race, and it looks like that guy is going to do it. Ross has driven very well tonight, but that one mistake, speeding in the pit lane, has cost him a race win and a podium. That guy wins by 0.4 of a second. Ryan, our featured driver, great result for him. He finishes ahead of Ross and closes the gap at the top of the championship to Ross. Ripley, great podium from him. He can be really proud of what he achieved tonight. Ross, A lot of contact with Ghost tonight. Lots of little bumps and nudges here and there. Have to wait and see if the stewards have to decide anything between them two. Kemmets spun earlier on in the race and he ends up in 5th place. Flew again with a spin, and that's why Prev is down in 9th place. Oh, and Chives and Prev and Wiggles going side by side to finish the race. Well, if you're looking for action, you can't complain about what we've seen tonight. That guy wins the race. He has won this season already, but a 5-second penalty took a race win away from him to his teammate Prev, and he'll be hoping that the stewards don't have to say anything about his race tonight. From 14th on the grid to the race win. Beautiful display here of patient capitalising on others' mistakes. That guy wins your race here in Great Britain. Ryan reduces the gap to Ross at the top of the championship with another 2nd place. That is 5 second places for Ryan and no race win this season. He will be desperately hoping next week he can get his first race win of the season. Ripley, great podium, mate. And yeah, as we said, very proud of what you've done tonight. Ross, desperately unlucky to another podium this season, just finishing out in 4th. Kemmets flew, Greg, Dayman, Prev and Wiggles rounding off the top 10. With Chives, Deton is still classified. Ghost had some problems with Ross, bit of nudges and a big rivalry going on this race. He ended up retiring. Little Serpentinius Bear biting the dust a little bit earlier on in the race. And it comes to decide who driver of the day is, and I think really there's a good few shouts here tonight, but who can argue for that guy? 14th on the grid to top of the podium. Great performance, definitely deserving. Almost did the last to first challenge, but not quite there yet. We've got streams all throughout this week, Thursday night, Saturday and Sunday night. Join us for more streams on this channel, where we will be again at the beautiful Silverstone circuit in Great Britain. The next week, join us for Ripley's home race, the Belgian Grand Prix, here next Tuesday for No Assist Tier 1. Just reminds me to thank you to everyone who's been in the chat, all the 5 new follows tonight, really appreciate that. We're inching closer towards the 400 follower mark. That is a great achievement, and I'm sure we'll get it as soon as we can. So thank you all for your support. Thank you to everyone who's been in the chat, and we'll see you later on this week for some more racing.